If you're just joining us, you will be astonished to know that this man here, Chris Williamson, is legally blind. He has a tiny amount of vision, not very much at all, and he has chosen to make a life out of hurtling himself down the steepest hills all over the world and placing his trust in the hands of the man in front of him, Nick Brush, who guides him down as best he can, and it's hard for the guide going at these speeds. Oh, and Williamson crashes out over that final rise, and desperately disappointing. He was going to destroy Dudas's time. He was skiing brilliantly so far, born without eyelids, and she's had 57 operations in her short lifetime, and skiing very, very nicely indeed here. Sarubi just going wide, and she's missed that gate unfortunately, but because of the different age pointed, she got 2 golds in the final warm-up World Cup events in Aspen earlier this month. You can see her in slow motion, still charging down this course, just clipping the outside gate. Down towards the finish. She's not going to threaten the medals, but into 6th place for now. So the first 2 events we've had so far this week, the 2 very much leading the way. Gold will be hers in just a few short seconds' time. The cheers will be for Fran Saver, of course, but also very much for the home favourite. Fran Saver finishes, let's hope she's okay. Very steep finish line there, but Viviane Foray of Canada will get the first of 6 gold medals on offer here today at Whistler Creekside. 37-year-old Kaniko Obinata. This is her 5th Paralympic Games, and she has 10 Paralympic medals, including a gold in this event, but from back in 1998. 2 bronze medals so far at these games. And Obinata, well, just losing it there. And she's going to crash out, unfortunately for her, just catching her breath. Let's hope it's nothing more serious than that, but the speeds these downhill races are going, and the medical teams will be trying to attend to her as soon as they can. And let's hope that it's not too serious, as we see Kaniko Obinata. So Tatsuke Aoki is in the LW10 class, and she's the only 10 athlete, so she has less mobility than all the others, but she does get more of a time boost when the factoring system is taken into account. So even though she might look like she's going slower, and it is all relative because they're going at very fast speeds now, unfortunately she's going to crash out. Well, good to see her moving immediately. Wasn't nearly as bad as her teammates' crash, and the factoring system comes into play, so all these racers in the standing division are averaged out as Andrea Javier, now based in Nanaimo here in British Columbia, comes down. Oh, and that's nasty. Well, she crossed the line safely and then popped up. He's B1. He has absolutely no vision whatsoever, and if he does have just a tiny amount, well, he's wearing blacked out goggles because those are the rules for the B1 athletes. He's the only B1 athlete on both the men's and the women's side who's been brave enough to enter this downhill event. And you can see he's obviously going a little bit slower, but the time factoring system will account for that. And Bart Bunting here was asked by an Australian journalist before this week began how he could even, and disappointment for Bart, and well, in a little bit of pain there. He just went a little bit too wide, and that's desperately disappointing for him. But just to get to the start line, so impressive. Comes to the final stretch. This is going to be a good time. And more than half a second, and again we see a wipeout. Here comes Batham down the final stretches. This time is going to be very good indeed. And comfortably into the lead. Well, he won't mind that. Miroslav Haraus now, another Slovakian. Fourth in the slalom. The dreaded fourth place, following Martin Makovnik. And Haraus is down. They've practiced memorising all the corners and the turns. And unfortunately, for Gabriel, that will be the end of his day. And coming down to complete his downhill run, and into fifth. Well, and Martin Braxenthaler, the German, is in the 10 class. So in the sitting you had the 10s, 11s and 12s. And the 10s have the least amount of mobility, so they get more of a time boost. And look at him race down this course, and that's disaster there for Braxenthaler, just too tight a line. And that'll be the end of his day. But, well, we're not sure if he's going to get stopped because of the little wipeout. But, oh, and Walker bounces out himself. But his front of the ski went down first, instead of landing as is usual on the back of the ski. And that could have been disastrous, but it wasn't. And Christoph Kuntz of Switzerland is our leader. Now, what can this man do? KJ, Kiesjan van der Kloester. Well, he's crashed out, unfortunately, just as I was about to say how nicely he was skiing. The Alaskan resident, very much a threat here. Second quickest in the sole training run we've had. And getting very low around those corners. Using that outrigger, and too low, and crashing out. Well, we've seen so many athletes just going too fast, really, and unable to control it. So Han Sang-min of Korea.
You're okay, yeah.
11th in the slalom. That's his best result so far at these games. He is entered for all 5 disciplines. 30 years old, from Seoul. And unfortunately for Han, he goes the way of many of these racers. Unfortunately for Sam, could be working against him. With all these delays that we've had, the course... Oh, well, it wouldn't matter. Oh, and that's a nasty one for Carter Daniels. Does seem to be okay, but he's more worried about not being able to complete. Bananaman skiing well, coming over the final rise, almost losing it, and then does. Well, he looked to have just kept control, and again we've seen someone in real difficulties over this final. Cyril well off the pace, but skiing pretty nicely. Well, just as I said that, loses control and spins out. As soon as we do get any news, we'll certainly let you know. And Enrico Giorgi of Italy is the latest to crash out here, a veteran of several Paralympic Games, including the one in Teen Albertville back in 1992, when he got bronze in the downhill. So 7 Paralympic medals for Brun in his career, but it won't be 8 At least not today. This will be where the burn really comes into play. As they drive their legs. Oh, and just overbalancing there. Let's hope that Jeff's okay. Now, it's very easy to forget that Viviane Foray, as the other 9 competitors in her event, she's legally blind. And Foray just up on her feet, we saw there, which is good to see. But he wasn't so fortunate in Monday's events here at these Paralympic Games. Crashed out of his second run. And more bad luck here for Jean-Yves, and let's hope that it flipped around there. Well, unfortunately for him, unable to complete 3 of his 4 events. And again, we see how impressive Taiko Mori's time has been. The first man down, and still very much leading the way. And that's more bad luck for Hans Pleisch. Definitely be our leader come the end of the first half of this sitting division super combined. And we have 1 run of slalom later on. Now, oh well, just went too wide, couldn't hold the line. And Jelinek, well, disappointment. That's the end of his games. Bit of air off that final turn. Where's the biggest jump you've ever had in racing?
A little bit of a crash there. As you can see, sometimes when it's bumpy out there, you get onto that turn, you get bounced around, and then the weight comes off, then the weight comes back. Oh, wow!
And Tyler Walker, well, crashing out there.
It could be just about anything. I mean, it really is the kind of thing that once it happens once, oh, and we have
Sean Rose,
who has a short day, unfortunately. And some of them will move there on a permanent basis, as I have, as Monty has, as Stephanie has, to Park City. So
it would just be...
Oh, and you can see just how difficult that is right there. Coming out of that compression, there are those bumps in the compression, and what it does is it throws the athlete's balance off just a little bit.